So I was on Spotify the other day and Trust randomly came on, Brent Faiyaz classic song, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make something kind of similar to this for you guys, show you some tricks, show you some source, maybe some stuff that I haven't already revealed, and we're going to build this from scratch. I'm going to show you loads of different ways you can, approach this from a theory perspective and then from a practical perspective. So we're going to look at plugins, we're going to look at mixing stuff, we're going to go across the board. I know I said from scratch, we were kind of from scratch. I put a very basic drum groove down. The way I like to normally start to get ideas, listen to some references, there's some tracks that I like, and I'm like, right, I'm going to make something in this kind of vein. And I just put some drums down, sound like this. Gets your head moving, really simple, sparse kick, so it leaves me space to do some other things around it. So I had no kind of preconceived notion of where I was going to go, but I just laid down a couple of notes that I had in my head. Oh look, the guitar. So I've got this idea in my head that's based around like a... And I reckon if I play down that motif, put some effects on it, I can build some chords around that, some harmony, put a bass line down and maybe a little sample in the background. We're good to go. So this shouldn't take long at all. I've got that pedal tone here right now. I'm using the Sky keys for this on this Bird and Vocal Chop preset. When I'm producing, I normally will take my guitar I've said this before, I always do a test where I start to mumble some lyrics or vocals because I'm trying to kind of emulate what an artist would do. And that's why I like to keep these beats really empty as well. Keep them sparse and you're going to do the job. So bounce down that MIDI there. So I reversed it for starters. I put some phaser, some portal on there, reversed it. Once I've got my chord progression, which I like to keep simple, mainly those two chords, there's a little turnaround, maybe at the end of every 4 or 8 bars. Then I'm thinking about what sound can I put that on, and if I'm thinking Brent Faiyaz alternative R&B, I'm thinking kind of affected, synth, dreamy, ambient, those kind of sounds. Again, Sky Keys is great for this. Sounds fire. Then we'll maybe go to So sometimes I play chords in, sometimes I just draw them in. I think I'm going to draw them in for now. We're going to go for a C sharp major 7th, then we're going to go for a F minor 9 type sound. We'll see how they sound together with this preset. I'm going to use the same preset that I just used in the Sky Keys, that Bird and Vocal Chop. Now, good tip is if you're not exactly sure how to draw a C sharp major 7th chord, if you just draw a C major 7th chord, which is drop the octave down. If we go C, E, G, B, and then we drop it down an octave because it's high up there. Take it up by a semitone. We've got the that lovely sound there. It's kind of ambient. It's working for me already. And then we do the F minor chord after that. And again, if you don't know how to do an F minor, remember, if you make an F major, which is just like the 4 chord in C, you're just going to put an F, an A and a C together, being the 1, the 3 and the 5. Now to find the minor 7th of any chord, you just drop 2 notes below the root. So there's your minor 7th. You can move that up to the top, and that would be an F major 7th chord. But to make a major 7th and minor 7th, take that major 3rd, which was the A, drop it down by 1 semitone. You've now got a C sharp major 7th going into an F minor 7th. We're gonna maybe add some more color notes onto that to see if we can make it sound more interesting. So it sounds a bit strange right now, but let's move some of the notes around. I'm going to also add a bass note into these chords to just give them a little bit more of a root. If these sound weird to you, wait till the bass comes in, and that's going to kind of shore things up a lot. Let's see if we can maybe get these voicings to sound a little bit more interesting. So that little pedal's going all the way through. Why don't we filter that as well? So these are things I'm just thinking as I'm going along. We could try like even just the auto filter in Logic, see what that does. Now we're just going to play around with some different presets. That's panning from right to left in the stereo field now. We've got our synth. Sounds pretty cool. What about if we added a bass into here now and see how that's gonna change things up? I love this for basses. Let's just maybe pick like a West Coast bass type thing. You can hear that low F is a bit squelchy, so I wanted to ideally be able to drop it down an octave there. We could transpose everything, or for now I could just stick to that and probably add like a sub underneath there as well. I'm just approaching that from a semitone away, C sharp to the. I'm always thinking of hooky bass lines to play, and then we can walk down like a bow, 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 you know, and go like that there. Same shit, different day. What's good, guys? So book a one-to-one with me and we can go over any of these points or anything you want to work on, like feedback. I can go over music theory stuff, or I can do, you know, mixing, mastering, general psychology about production, or getting ahead with your business stuff, because I've made a living out of it for the last however many years. Let's get back to the beat we're making together. I drew in a simple bass line on that sound, that kind of West Coast squelchy bass sound. Walk down. Now that's all well and good for an 8-bar phrase, and usually I'll add as many sounds as I think will work for the beat, and then I'll arrange it out, and then I'll start pulling sounds out to make it work as a 2.5 minute beat. And if I feel that an artist can then start to, you know, do what they need to do, I know it's done. And this just comes with practice, doing beats over and over again, making samples of beats and that kind of thing. Just knowing that's it, I should stop here, because it's so tempting to just keep putting sounds, more sounds in. But no. Right, what else have I done? Now I've put a compressor on here, but I'm just actually using it as a side chain, using the kick to duck the bass. So every time the kick plays, and threshold wise I've adjusted to get to around 4 to 5 decibels of gain reduction. What that does is it just gets the bass out of the way, so the kick, everything has space, because when things are fighting, especially in the low end of your track, you're going to lose headroom. And we all want to make tracks loud in this day and age, right? It's all about, oh, can it be louder? Can it be louder? That is going to, like, low end is the thing that is going to really take up your headroom. So you want to get everything that's kind of in the bottom of your track out the way. Now, our synth patch, we programmed in just the chords, the Sky Keys, just rolled off some of the low, super lows up to about 100 Hertz. and I've got a couple of effects on here, and I'm actually transposing the chords using Sound Shifter, which adds artifacts, makes it sound a little bit more vintage and lo-fi. So you can see the track's taking shape. Now what I think I want to do now, I'm going to record some vocals into my phone, send them across, because you know your voice is unique to you, and I always look for sounds that not everyone has, and you're the only one with your own voice. So I'm going to just do some mumbly singing into my phone, send it to the computer, we'll put some effects on it, then we'll add a mastering chain and maybe one or two more sounds. Like I might add a piano with like a lot of reverb on, just for a more ambient kind of effect, and then we'll arrange it out. I'll show you some mixing stuff, and the beat will be done. And I'll put a little turnaround for every like 16 bars, although you could just leave it as 2 chords. Like 2 chords is all you need sometimes if an artist is just ready to spit. But again, you want to make beats that just stand out. So, you know, just for you guys, I'll show you the theory behind putting a little turnaround at the end. I open the Voice Memos app, I play the beat in my headphones, we're going to send that to the computer. There'll be something in there we can chop, loop, effect, and then use that. So if I drop that into the track now, here we are, as if by magic, as simple as that. Let's just see what we have. Sounds terrible. Auto-tune first. I should have a pre-set up channel strip for this, but I haven't. Now the key I know is A flat major, and probably right, now we don't want this to be in the way, frequency wise, we don't want it to be in the way of a songwriter or someone that's going to be working on this. And that first note just sounds absolutely shocking, so we're not using that. So now there's a lot we can do. I'm going to put on some vintage verb to really wash that out now. And again, I'm just using my ears to see what works, what doesn't work, see what other little segments, the little chops we've got. And then you can use arcade, you can pull in a vocal from Splice even here. Like, I'm just showing you the principle of what I'm doing. If I'm adding delays, I don't want to interfere with the bounce that we've already got going on, and delays can start to, you know, the rhythms that delay creates can start to conflict with what we already have. Again, I'm going to bury it. Am I loving this? It's not really hitting me hard. And again, this is a good lesson in itself that it might just not work. You might be like trying something that you're just kind of like, meh, it's okay, but it's not making me like think, yeah, this is fire. Like, I think we'll try maybe a piano with a delay going on. So we'll use a preset that I already have called Emo Piano. And look guys, I'm keeping this warts and all. Like I said, certain decisions may work, certain decisions may not work. So now I've got this preset that I've made already, one that I prepared earlier, and I'm just going to grab a couple of notes that I know will work. So in F minor or A flat major. We'll turn these up a little bit as well, just to make sure we can hear it, and then we can always turn it down. So, more like a counter melody. You know, like that. Everything is just adding to that initial emotion. I've transposed that up there, it's quite nice. just that, you know. And you see how the bass is going, wow, 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 wow. We may not even need to do the movement with the chords because the bass is implying it. Sometimes you can imply changes just by like using slightly different bass line. But I think we'll find when we start to pull the arrangement out, then we might change it up a little bit. Definitely going to have some variation. Now I've saved that all. That vocal's in there. I don't love it, but again, maybe we can tweak it. Maybe we might just chop a tiny piece out of it. I'm going to now, at this stage where I've got most of my sounds in, I'm going to add my mastering chain, which is here as follows. So I just call it 2021 master. I'm going to take the sound shifter off because we don't need that here. And you're going to find that I have so far been kind of mixing everything to what I know my mastering chain has. I've Soothe 2 on there. I have a little bit of tape saturation going on here, not doing too much. And it's the soft tube tape as well. I've said this before, I like how it looks. It's meant to be a good plugin as well, but I don't really mess with it. I stick it on, leave it. I've got a bit of... You can hear the volume jump there, and this is all... I'm doing this all in my headphones. Haven't even added a sub bass. I probably would add a sub bass if I was making this, you know, a proper sort of release ready type beat. But at this stage, I would also go to my Metric AB and I would put a Brent Faiyaz tune into this, and I'd balance mine off to that. I'd make sure are my synths around about this right level. That's probably one of the best mixing tips I can give you. See? Sounding nice now. Hats might be a bit loud. We're not too bad though. You know what I mean? Like, I can't sing, but I'm pretending that I'm an artist that can flow on it, and I know that a flow will work. Also, another good trick, take an a cappella from a tune you like, drop it in, see if it sits nicely on your beat, and then that's a good test to see if it's kind of ready for a vocal, you know? And honestly, these are all the sounds I would have in this beat. Now, if I was to arrange it out, let's just say, you know, like, if I just copy it over, we'll start from bar 1 because it's always, you know, the best way to do it. I'd probably drop out maybe the kicks for the first 8 bars. I'd take the bass out, and we just kind of try something like that. That's that. So I'm hearing, like, I hear these things in my head, but I just probably have a little like... And I might put a little sweep in there as well. Like, again, it sounds a bit dead right now, but you can transform this with like vinyl scratches and stuff like that. So far we've got like 20 seconds worth of music. Now, something that I thought we could try as well is to put our chords onto piano sound. We'll go with the same piano we used before, but without the long reverb on it. So if I just copy the MIDI down, we'll call this piano now. So we listen to how they sound. Let's try this. And then the second time round, we'll put that note back in again. I'm taking this note out as well. I'm just messing with the voicings. Different voicings will work best on different kinds of instruments. And then the second time round we'll go down. So let's see if that adds or how that affects anything. I like that. piano just adds something subtle. All the things I'm adding now are just sort of subtle touches to enhance what we have already and give me more different options as we build out the arrangement. So if I just take that main beat out, we've got a little intro, we've got another section there, we'll copy that again, and I don't want that bass every time walking down, and maybe the first time I'll just take them out, so we just go. And maybe we'll take the piano out for the beginning and we'll just bring it in at like bar 17. It's just building. I'm going to bring things out subtly, make changes, and let me grab a vinyl scratch. I'm going to add a vinyl crackle throughout the whole beat. Again, simple texture trick, just adds a little bit of. Again, everything here is about ambience, it's about mood. We'll look for a vinyl scratch that can. Okay, that's cool. And that could give us a transition sound into bar 17 maybe. Jagga jagga boom boom. So it should be like that, right? Let's see if that's in time. Yeah, that's cool. What can we do with that? Let's put maybe a sample delay on that and use the Hass effect to widen it. Put it really wide in the stereo field. These are little ear candies, little sprinkles that maybe take you out of the moment and refocus your attention. I like it there. It works nicely as a little something, just something. We're in again there. And now the hat's all the way through. Do I love it? It's cool. Again, what about when that vinyl crackle comes, we drop the hats out for bar. So we go. Subtle little things like that where you're just taking out a sound for a bar or a beat. Quick tension, quick release. I'm all about that. Now we can copy this section again. Now we've got a nice bass line that has a touch of variation, not much, just enough, just a little bit. And now already we're like almost a minute into the track. So what happens here? We're up to here. Well, we'll bring the piano back in and we could maybe bring one more lead sound now I'm hearing, like a bar 33 maybe. Some kind of like extra, like, you know, take the sky keys, double the sound there like this in Logic, grab a lead sound. You see I'm just leaving the same processing on here. We'll put low latency on now because we've got mastering plugins. Just turn on the keyboard and I'm going to just experiment with a couple of little lines, very simple lines. Try something like this. There we go. Really simple 3-note melody. It's gonna add something though at that point there. We're gonna you know, I'm probably going to change some of the bass lines here, but I'm building out a rough picture of my roadmap kind of thing of the whole beat. All right, so we go. We'll pan that round to the right. See, subtle, but let's maybe just on that bar 33 like section there, let's look at a turnaround we could do. So I'm looking and I'm thinking about, we're going from the, what if we go? So 2, 5, I'm doing the 2 and the 5 of that C sharp major 7th, okay? So we're looking at a E flat minor 9 chord as our 2 chord, because that is the 2, any kind of E flat minor chord would work as the 2 chord of the C sharp major chord, and then the 5 would be the A flat major chord. So we're just going, and then we're back to that thing. So if I wanted to go on our piano, maybe for example, and just have a look at where, first of all, we place that. We play that phrase, and it would just be wow, wow. So it would be on bar 40. So we come to bar 40 now. Pull the MIDI in. Just going to draw in, and again, what did I say? If you're not sure how to make, say, an E flat minor 9 chord, make a D minor 9 chord, which is easy to make. D, and then just remember the word face. F A C C and E. You're going to pull that up a semitone to make it a D sharp minor 9 or an E flat minor 9. Then we're going to stick in a nice A flat major triad. So we can go with an A flat, ba, ba, ba. Raise it up and see how that sounds on its own. The first chord back in front of it. Let's check it out. So it works well, although it's maybe a little bit low for where we're going. So let's maybe add a top note. I'm just dee dee da da. Try that. Maybe too bright there, you know, with that melody on top. We can hear how it sounds in context, you know. And our bass now, we'll move our bass as well to match that above 40. So we're going to put a D. We got the C sharp there, which we already implied. We're now gonna take this to a G sharp. See? And we'll put our original bass back in there. So let's have a listen. My one concern about the turnaround chords is our pads is a very long sustained sound, and I don't know how it will work with quickly changing chords. Another thing you need to consider, it might be too muddy for that. So what I'm thinking is we use that turnaround maybe in a breakdown section. So we take everything out apart from maybe the piano and our melody motif. So for bar 33, for example, maybe we could have something that breaks down to then become the chorus. Let's bring everything out now, apart from that piano, and we can maybe break down into it. So I'm just gonna. So we'll take everything out. You see how that little turnaround there now works as almost a transition to bring back our other instruments, because it just offers us something a little bit different to what we had before. So now if we copy the MIDI we had from the section before it, after it, we'll listen to, it breaks down to just piano. And we're back in, and that could be like a chorus or something. So again, as I said, right, it's all trial and error. I just wanna be the you see? So we're getting somewhere now. Now we've got like a minute and sort of 16 seconds worth, and we could use that again. We could maybe double out this section. We can mute out a couple more drums. We can maybe bring in a little open hat or a ride cymbal. But look, you get the idea. Trial and error. So try this for yourself. You're going to take a couple of chords, try and build something around it, and before we know it, we've got a fire beat that would sit on a Brent Faiyaz album, or, you know, modern alternative R&B. If you like this, check out the video in the corner for some more source. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one.